Friends, it's an honour to address you today at our biennial General Council, a moment to reflect, re-energise and recommit ourselves to the values that have always guided our movement: solidarity, justice and collective action. Our theme this year, class, culture and community, could not be more timely or more necessary. In a world that too often tells working people they must fend for themselves, we come together today here to reaffirm a deeper truth, that we are stronger together, that our class has a culture, and that from that culture we build a lasting community. I'll begin with class, not as an abstract idea, but as a lived experience. Every one of us here knows what it means to come from working class communities, whether we are on the shop floor, in the classroom, behind the wheel, or on a picket line. We know what it means to see our labour undervalued, our voices dismissed, and our communities neglected. And yet we also know the pride that comes from that same class identity, the pride in a job well done, in standing shoulder to shoulder with a colleague, in fighting not just for ourselves, but for one another. And that's why trade unionism matters, because when working class people organise, we move from being a category to being a force that can demand fair pay, a force that can demand safe workplaces, public services and dignity. But class does not stand alone. It finds its absolute soul in culture. Trade unionism is not just about wages and conditions. It's about how we live, how we think and how we imagine the future. Our movement has always had a culture, from banners and ballads to poetry and protest. From Tolpuddle to Grunwick, our history is rich with stories of resistance, resilience and hope. And if we're to build a future rooted in solidarity, we must nourish that culture. We must tell our stories, celebrate our victories and pass down the lessons of struggle from one generation to the next. It's not nostalgia, it's how we keep the flame alive. That brings me to the most vital areas of our work, trade union education. In times like these, when misinformation is rampant and working class knowledge is undervalued, education is not a luxury, it's absolutely a necessity. The GFTU has long stood at the forefront of trade union education, offering training not just in negotiation and employment law, but in political literacy, cultural awareness and leadership development. Because to empower our members, we must also enlighten them. Education is how we turn members into activists, activists into leaders, and leaders into visionaries. It's how we understand the systems that exploit us and how we develop the tools to resist them. And it's how we pass on our traditions to the next generation, not just the what, but the why of trade unionism. This work is more important now than ever. As the world of work shifts through digitalisation, zero-hours contracts, the gig economy, we've got to equip our members not just to survive, but to shape the future of labour. And that's why I'm proud of our commitment to inclusive, lifelong, radical education, and why we must continue to invest in it. And finally, community. Trade unionism doesn't stop at the workplace gate. We are rooted in our communities, because we live where we work and we bring our values home. Too many of our communities have been hollowed out by austerity, privatisation and political neglect. But in the face of that, we've seen trade unions step up, offering food bank support, mental health resources, organising migrant workers, defending public libraries and building alliances with tenants' movements and climate justice campaigns. That's what solidarity looks like in the 21st century. Not just defending wages, but defending life. Not just industrial strategy, but social justice. Trade unions as anchors of community power, cultural life and democratic renewal. Let's never forget, we're not just a special interest group, we are the voice of the working class. And when we fight for better wages, we fight for better schools. When we demand fair contracts, we demand fairer societies. And when we organise, we transform. But to truly realise that vision, we must also reflect on who gets to speak in our movement. We must continue the work of building unions that reflect the full diversity of our class, across race, gender, sexuality, disability and migration status. Because an injury to one truly is an injury to all. But that only holds true when all are seen, all are heard and all are included. Trade union education has a vital role to play here too, helping us to unlearn bias, understand intersectionality, and build a leadership that reflects the richness of our movement. As I come to the end of this address, because those of you that know me don't know that I don't like to waffle on for too long, I want to take a moment to reflect on what it has meant to serve as president over the past 2 years. It's been an absolute privilege, through the highs and the hard times, through the bumps and the changes, to represent this organisation and the values that we all hold dear. Thanks to Gawain, Henry, Preeti, and the entire GFTU team. Your dedication, expertise, and commitment has been the backbone of our work and the reason we've been able to continue moving forwards, developing and growing, even in turbulent times. And to the executive, especially Ian, who isn't with us today, unfortunately, thank you for your solidarity, your challenge, and your support. It's been a real honour to work alongside such a principled, passionate, and determined group of people. Whatever lies ahead, I'll carry this experience with enormous pride. So as we gather here, let us remember, class is our strength, culture is our compass, and community is our foundation. And education is absolutely the engine that drives it all forward. We've got a lot of work to do, but we've got each other, and in that there is hope. Let us leave our conference this week not just with resolutions, but with resolve. To grow our unions, to deepen our education, to defend our class, and to build a future where justice, dignity, and solidarity are not dreams but daily realities. Thank you.